Bonjour, mon amis. What's up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Brandman Brandon. What's up, E?
Not too much. Super hot today.
Oh, man, goodness. We're in Chicago, guys, and I was driving around, and it was 100 degrees.
Yep.
100 degrees. I was like,
Literally 100 degrees.
all right, I got to take off this top, whatever it takes. We got 80s kid from the 90s in here. Howdy, partner.
80s kid. What's going on, man?
He said, I took a nap this afternoon. Who knew naps helped me get a better mood? It definitely helps me all the time.
Oh, that was me right when I got home from work today. I just fell asleep on the couch.
So, we got Drew in here. Hey, what everybody? What's up, Drew?
Drew.
And I was telling Drew, saw top 7 movies of the year so far. I really did enjoy it. I really did. I was looking at. I agree with most of the movies. I think you made some really good points.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't seen it yet.
So check out Drew if you guys get a chance. The View with Drew is out there. Just jump on, check out the video, man. And then, of course, we got Mama Bear here. Now I'm feeling complete. I've been incomplete without it. Now I feel better. We're ready to go. Feeling good, feeling great. I know Brandman's ready. Awesome, guys. We got pretty good shows lined up for you guys. We're gonna hit a couple of topics, and we got a surprise guest that's gonna be jumping in here anytime soon. So we're gonna definitely do a few trailers. I want to go do the Lord of the Rings trailer. We're gonna do a Secret Level trailer, Megapolis, the Superman trailer, the Christopher Reeve story, and the Believer. And if we get a chance, we could do something else.
Okay.
So sorry I missed Thursday, fell asleep. Hey, we're on real quick and off because my daughter. Actually, what happened was she had an impacted tooth and her jaw just blew up. So we had to go get her 2 teeth pulled the next morning. So I'm sorry for having a short show, but yeah, it ended up being emergency.
No, that was way more important. How is she? So I meant to ask.
Oh man, she's like up and down like nothing ever happened.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and her birthday is coming up this Saturday, so we're going to do good things with that.
That's good. I'm happy it went smoothly, at least.
So what's the scoop on Marvel? I have so much Marvel news that I want to talk about. I mean, I have a laundry list of it, and if we get to it, until we get our special guest in, which he might be popping in any second, I will talk about some of it. I'll bring some of it up and we'll go through it piece by piece. I want to know what you guys think about it, because some of it is interesting. It really is. It's a cousin T. The Crow is trash. It's a dumpster fire.
We're gonna cross that bridge when we get there later on.
Yeah, because I know our guest definitely wants to talk about that, because I got some things to talk about. I just I don't want to take the fire away from or take all the stuff from what we're doing for this show, but I have some real feelings on the Crow. And it's funny because we don't have Tank tonight, because Tank is still trying to juggle all these things. I've talked to him almost daily, if not twice, 2 or 3 times a day. He texted me on Saturday. He was like, "Hey, is it Thursday?" I was like, "Bro, it's Saturday. What are you doing, man? what you doing?" So you going on live tonight? I was like, "No. What are you talking about?" Man, I've been missing all these days. I don't know what day is what. So, I was laughing so hard on him.
Did he even get around to seeing it yet?
Yes.
He did. Okay.
He get to see it. And he has to talk about it. All right, guys. Our special guest is in, so we will start our Crow talk right away. Welcome to Anzo, Bigger for Entertainment.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Oh, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, man. You don't know.
He was like, "Hey, you want to talk about it?" I was like, sold. Let me go downstairs and send it to you immediately.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about this one.
Man, you're not the only one. I don't want.
I definitely have thoughts.
It's just, you know what? I can't hold it anymore. Let's just
let's do it.
Let me bring up the synopsis, and I will do that. We'll start it right away because the synopsis shouldn't be much of anything. It should be like one sentence long.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man. Question for everyone: Who do you think is the best movie villain of 2024? Whoever wrote this movie, that's the biggest villain of 2024.
I wanted
Lionsgate Studios.
I wanted to like this movie so much, man. I really did. But
all right, let me do this transition real quick, and we're gonna jump right in, guys, because we gotta talk about this. Let me pull Drew's comment off first. My bad. All right, here we go. And welcome back to the Spoiler Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Brandman Brandon, and of course, we got the infamous Bigger for Entertainment Anzo in here. What's up, man?
What is going on, guys? Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. Once again, can't wait to do this.
Yes, because we are here, guys, to talk about the Crow remake, 2024 Crow. And man, we got some things to talk about. But before we do that, I'm gonna do the synopsis real quick, and then we'll jump right in. I'm gonna throw it right to Brandman, and then we're gonna go right to Anzo. I'll be last for all these things. So, okay. All right. So the synopsis on this one: soulmates Eric Draven and Shelley Webster are brutally murdered when the demons of her dark past catch up with them. Given the chance to save his true love by sacrificing himself, Draven returns to seek bloody revenge against the killers, traversing the world of the living and the dead to put the wrong things right. That, but that's the synopsis of The Crow, but that's even both of them. That really kind of gives you a synopsis of both of the movies. But this specific movie, tell me what you thought about it, Brandman.
I liked the soundtrack. There were probably a good 10 needle drops that really it had me vibing. I really liked the music. I'm a sucker for Joy Division and Foals and the Veils and pretty much every band they played in the movie. So that scored points with me. Bill Skarsgård is a very capable and good actor. And I thought that he was easily one of the best things about it. There were some visuals that kind of worked for me. It's from the guy who directed Rupert Sanders, who did Snow White and the Huntsman and Ghost in the Shell. And even though neither of those movies were great, I did enjoy them from a visual standpoint. Yeah.
All right. Anzo, go ahead and let them have it.
So I wanted to enjoy this movie. I really did. I seen the trailer, and I wasn't like everybody else that was running around saying, "Oh, the trailer looks trash," and the look of it was trash, and all that. I said, "No, I'm gonna give it a chance."
Same. I'm gonna give it a fair shot. Yeah.
Yeah, different take. But man, boy, this movie was a snooze fest. I'm sorry. I went back and I watched the original Crow, and from the original Crow, we didn't get the love story. You got little flashbacks or whatever. And I think that's where the biggest problem is, that they tried to do the love story, but I didn't feel connected to it. I didn't feel like these two, you just met and boom, all of a sudden you in love. So for me, I didn't like the movie at all. I didn't like it. Like you said, there were some good visuals, some good fight scenes. Yeah, 100%. But it took way too long for that to happen.
Yeah, the movie was super slow, and even the action didn't really. I guess the action was nothing that I haven't seen before, done a lot better. I agree. It never felt like these two were in love. They met at a rehab clinic and escaped together, and then suddenly, boom. It more just felt like lust more than anything.
it was worse than Bel Air, man. Like, it
Mhm.
Yeah,
made less sense than Bel Air.
for real.
Mhm.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, for me, it just felt 45 minutes of the movie felt like an hour and a half. I
Yeah.
literally looked at my watch and I was like, it's only been 45 minutes? What the hell? Like, it's so badly made. Like
Mhm.
not that the visuals are okay, not that the all the action scenes are good. And they got gory scenes and they have all those things and they did good with the death scenes and all that stuff. But literally, I was bored out of my mind with the story. I thought the writing was awful.
Mhm.
I was waiting for more to happen, right? I was waiting for it to get good because I'm not a huge like this epic Crow fan, but I like the movie, right? So I'm
Mhm.
expecting this to be at least a good movie. I was sadly mistaken.
And for
Yeah.
those that know, I'm a huge Crow fan. I love that brand. I've said, like, to me, it's probably, I would say, top 20, but it could
Mhm.
possibly be the top 10 of my movies of all time. So I really love it. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and I'm watching, well, at least in the first one, the crow meant something. The crow didn't even mean anything in this movie. Like, you didn't
Yeah.
interact with that crow at all.
Yeah. The crow itself was basically just a flying GPS for Eric in this one.
Yeah. Yeah,
You,
pretty
you
much.
know, he never really had at least the crow in the original had a personality and felt like a presence
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
um, to Eric, like with them having the psychic link. Just I never forgot that the crow itself was there. Whereas in this, I kept forgetting about the crow.
Yeah.
Um, it just and let's talk about the villains, dude. They felt like an afterthought. Like at
Facts.
least in the yeah, at least in the and this even goes for the sequels, as trash as they were. At least the villains and the henchmen kind of had a personality and a presence.
Mhm.
Especially in the first one where they were awesome. They were
Yes.
just they were just throwaway characters. They
Yes.
kind of reminded me of the of Blackheart's cronies in the first Ghost Rider movie, where they're just there and they just get unceremoniously disposed of and have really no personality of their own.
But
Even the lead villain, played by Danny Houston, just was like a nothing burger of a character.
You're
facts.
talking about the
Which
leads, the villains, but I didn't care about the lead characters. I
Yeah.
didn't care about
mm,
anything. Shelly, I gave 2 inches about her. I just
Yeah.
did not care. There was no connection there. Like, why should I care about you?
And
Why
I'm
should
so
you
yeah,
glad.
care?
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought up the villain because we're waiting to find out why they want this videotape so bad. And then I'm like, well, all he did was whisper in her ear and she went and killed somebody. So I'm like, why
mm,
do you like what does that expose of you? Nothing. Like it made no sense. Like this is the video you were trying to kill people for? Like, come on, man. I just didn't
All
didn't
right, we
feel
got Zach in here too. I want to read some of this stuff because I watched Zach's review and I was literally for the first time ever I was watching Zach's review and I was shaking my head yes the entire time. I agreed with him 100%. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. He said my eyes rolling skills got a lot better because of this film.
yeah.
So there are some gory moments I did not expect, but the overall action was just solid. He says,
mhm.
Brian, the edit for this movie for the first hour was dreadful.
Yeah.
I agree. They did a terrible job of storytelling. The way that the shots were made, it just was awful. And they could have done better. They literally
Yeah,
had opportunity to do better.
For a second, I thought I was watching flashbacks, and then the woman and the mother comes in, and I was like, "Oh wait, we're not watching flashbacks." I'm like, "Okay, so this." Wow, I was like, "No, I'm sorry."
That's funny you said that because Zach said, remember, this is not a remake. It's just a new adaptation for the comic of the comic.
yeah. So in that regard, I did have trouble thinking of it as a remake. I wasn't in that crowd, so I kind of got that it was like a new, like a readaptation of it. So I was fine with it in that regard.
But it's a technical part, right? Be that's bad. The technical parts were bad. You know, like I felt like the director didn't do a great job of capturing whatever they wanted us to see.
No, he definitely didn't. And like I said, I was kind of surprised at him for that because I've always liked Rupert Sanders' visuals. So I thought it was going to have at the absolute least, I was hoping I'd walk away thinking, oh, this, like a lot of his movies, like I was at least impressed by the visuals. It just felt so uncharacteristically flat from him. One thing that I liked about one of my favorite things about the original Crow movie, not to keep comparing the two, but I guess it's kind of unavoidable.
You have to.
Despite when everyone talks about the Crow, they talk about Brandon Lee. In addition to Brandon Lee, I think from a visual standpoint, the original movie was like that. That's why it resonates with me. It was like the way they made Detroit look, the kind of like hyper exaggerated, overly like kind of hyper stylized look of everything. The use of miniatures, just how everything kind of looked very, very exaggerated for the Gothic fantasy that it was. Really made it stand out. That's what really made the movie pop for me.
I gotta say, that's another thing. It felt inauthentic. You know, like as much as I like Bill Skarsgård, I do. FKA Twigs, and I thought she. I mean, I don't know if she's a bad actress or just the writing was that horrible. Because I don't know if she didn't do horribly. I just didn't care about her. But they looked like they didn't feel gothic. They felt like they were playing dress up.
Yeah.
You know, like that. The feeling was wrong, and I know they don't want to go away from what you don't want it to be like the '90s Crow, right? And because the '90s was a special time being around there, and we had all the grunge movement, we had all those things. '94, was that type of time, right? So the music was epic. It was different. As I said, it was a movement. So they're trying to go away from it, but it felt like inauthentic.
100%. And I agree with you. You don't. Okay, so I would have been okay. You have that little love story. Then you say a year later, and then it's like, okay, now I can see, they show a little bit more. Okay, they've been together for a year. I can believe they're actually that madly in love with each other. You know what I mean? I could believe that now. But it just seemed like it just came so quickly. You know what I mean? It's like boom, 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 and then finally, oh, we're in love, and then boom, they die. And I had a big issue with the end, right? Because I said in the trailer, when I seen the trailer, it's like, oh, you can bring her back. So I said, if they end this movie with them bringing back the girl, I'm going to have a real problem with it. They did that. But the way they did it is because when they bring her back, it's when she died, like when they killed. So I'm like, wait, did all that stuff not happen? Because, you know what I mean? Like, what? Because we went backwards now. She came back and we went backwards now. So does that mean like it did happen? But I didn't understand that ending at all. It was weird to do it that way,
Yeah. Zach said the villain fell so flat they made a cool power look super corny.
Yeah.
Because it's a very, very cool power. I mean, the idea that you feel all the pain, you go through all this stuff, but you just don't die. I mean, and then the villain's power just looked stupid. Like the idea of this movie is great. It's almost superhero like type of movie. But they just did a terrible job of doing it. I don't know.
And then you get no explanation as to why he wants to steal the power or anything like that. Like, you don't even know that's what his plan is. Just like, oh, I want to bring him. And then when he comes, he starts shooting him and starts taking his powers. Like, and I'm like, okay, so at least in the original, like you said, you don't want to compare because they're two different movies, but you get more of a like, oh, the crow is the power. We need to get the crow, blah, blah, blah. So you get the motivation as to why. This one just brushes over it like, oh yeah, we just need to bring him here and then boom, let's take his power. It's like you could have did so much more with it.
I gotta go. Zach makes some good points. I just want to say, he said FKA Twigs is a decent acting, but the script gave her cringy stuff to say for 45 minutes straight.
Oh, her lines were so lame.
No, it was like they were doing a lot of like zingers, like one line zinger things, like hey.
Yep.
But it didn't make sense that I've only known you for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the time frame in this movie? Was it like 3 weeks? Was it a month? It was like
exactly.
it was kind of hard to
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact. Okay, so 2 things, right, that I just brought up. So remember when they catch her and she's running, she bumps into the cops and they find the drugs, they bring her in jail, right? There was a guy following her, but they don't know where she is. Like, oh, where is she? We don't know. Like you saw the cops pick her up and arrest her, right? So what is that?
Well, guess she's in jail.
Yeah, exactly. Then they break out way too easy, and then they break out and they know people are looking for them, but they're still in the same city partying and having fun. And I'm like, what? You guys not even getting out of there? You're like just chilling? Come on now.
Really? Yeah, why wouldn't you just like quickly get out of Dodge as soon as possible?
You can leave.
Right. You know.
Yeah.
They talk about leaving. Like, pick up the pace. What are you doing?
You know, I get it. You go to the house that you're staying. You stay there for a night, maybe 2 max. But by then, you are gone out of that city. Whatever it takes to get out of there, you are gone. But no, they stay there, and they're actually at a club.
Yeah.
You're hiding from people that are going to kill you, and you're at a club. Okay,
in the same place they will hang out. Like, it's the same place you would go normally.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, they were just partying and doing recreational drugs and just kicking it without a care in the world. I'm like, what the?
Hey, no, I real quick. I know we're in the middle of this. Happy belated birthday, B. I'm so happy you had your birthday. I just wanted them. I know we're in the middle of a review. I know they're going to have to see this doing a little later when we cut this out. But happy birthday, man. I really
happy birthday, man.
That's awesome. Sorry.
All right.
Zach had said that pissed me off. The movie didn't even follow its own rules. They set up rules and then just didn't follow it at all.
Absolutely. And you know, it's like now he becomes a crow, but he doesn't really want to be the crow or whatever. And then he doubts the love, gets shot, goes back in, and then they actually, because that's when I feel he actually got the crow powers, right? Is after he gave, you know what I mean? Then shots weren't bothering him or anything like that. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, as cool as this opera scene is, nobody came out to use the bathroom. Nothing. Gunshots are busting all over. I don't care how loud the opera is. Someone is going to hear gunshots.
You're going to hear gunshots.
You know what I mean? Like, really? Nothing?
There was no screaming, no one running out, no nothing.
For 20 minutes? Yeah, bro.
Fifth Element, we know if shots are fired, you know you're running. You hear it.
Facts. 100%. Now, I get it. Maybe not everybody would have heard it, but there would have been someone that would have been
would have heard it.
Yeah, would have been like, "Hey, do you guys hear that? Like, what is that going on out there?" Yeah. You know.
Somebody would have someone would have heard it. Someone would have passed by. Someone would have like stepped out to use their phone or something.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
Mama Bear says the rules of a bad neighborhood. I heard nothing. Now, I grew up in a bad neighborhood. You know what you do? You get on the floor.
Facts.
You get on the ground and say, "I got to move out of this neighborhood the next week." That's what it is.
Facts.
Did this movie take place in Chicago?
Yes.
Was that supposed to be Chicago?
I thought it was first. I thought it was Detroit, right? First, I thought it was Detroit. Then I was like, "Man, is this Canada?" And then I was like, "No, this got to be Chicago, right?" Yeah, because the name of the streets.
Yeah, they show a street sign. Don't they show like 19th and Ashland or something?
Yep.
I want to say it was 19th. something like that. But yeah, I'm like, wait a second.
We got Profess in here. What's up? Good evening. Zach says Deadpool and Wolverine. The plot was gobbledygook. Hey, the plot was a plot device. So I mean that's the narrative. So, but that's neither near nor there. I don't even want to compare the two. The Crow's going to make $19 million, and maybe with all the sales everywhere, and we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine's going to make 1.3 billion. So I'm all for it. And at least if you're gonna be a superhero movie, be a superhero movie and follow your own rules, or make them as you go along and talk about it.
And to be honest with you, I mean, like the plot was like a simple little plot, but they executed it very well in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This movie, you have a simple
talk about
plot.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can talk about this, but I think it opens the door to a lot more Marvel stuff. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying even the plot for The Crow is a simple plot.
It is,
but you didn't execute it well at all. You did not. And when you go back and watch the original, like you even like the villains. You know what I mean? Each one of them is a different character that you spend at least a little bit of time with, to where you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, and this one is just like they're just like
throwaway.
Oh yeah, we got
throwaway characters.
We gotta put bad guys in here, you know.
Yeah, just nameless henchmen, just devoid of any characteristics or personality. You know, you remember Tintin and T-Bird and Fun Boy, and you know, like they had some quotable lines too.
Fire it up, fire it up,
fire it up, fire it up.
But isn't that the point though? Like they're trying to recreate that same feeling, and all they were doing is creating these one-liners, but that didn't make sense because you didn't care about the character.
Yeah, at all. You know, I thought, you know, maybe they show a video where, you know, the video that they're looking for, maybe they show him turn into some sort of demon or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, you know what I mean? But there was nothing. It was just like, okay, you whispered in her ear and she killed somebody. Nobody can tell you. Like, they have free will, so no one knows you actually have this power that would make her go and do that. You know what I mean? So you could let the video come out like, hey, yeah, you know, I just told her I wanted, you know, something, and she did that. So I don't know.
Yeah, she went off and did her own thing. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, I don't know. So I just thought it just, you could have found a better way to do it. And I thought the way they died, you know, because in the original, like they murdered her, like they did things to her. This one, it
was brutal.
Yeah. Put a bag over her head and suffocated her. They could have done a lot more with that.
But you know, they did a lot of action. I mean, they did have the killings was, you know, gory. A lot of stuff was very gory. They did some cool stuff with Eric or Bill Skarsgård's character. I mean, they did do, but they just didn't. It's like they didn't understand. I feel like they didn't watch the movie and realize this scene needs to be more. This scene I need to do more with. I have opportunity here. Like, if they could have made this movie better. I think that's where I'm standing behind. Is like, at the end of the day, this could have been a better movie if they only took the time to look at it and say, okay, self-evaluate. Does this make sense? Is this shot well? You know, or is this the person I should be focusing on? Do I care about any of these villains? Do I care about the main characters? Those are just things that, you know, create a bad movie if you don't do.
You could have cut off a lot of that love story part, gave us more with the villains so that we could stick with them and hate them more or whatever, see them doing bad stuff. You could have done a lot of that. You did not need to stick with that love story for so long. You could have
I agree
of it and then let it go, you know?
You know, I feel like just to kind of piggyback off that, I feel like this movie kind of wasted a lot of time over explaining a lot of things or trying to, like, case in point, the love story, or even when Eric ends up in the in like that limbo or whatever he's in, and you have that being there who literally who literally like speed runs
Everything.
the explanation about the crow,
Yeah.
which is Sarah's opening monologue from the first movie.
Facts.
Like, it just felt so ham-fisted, and just I don't know if they felt obligated to do it that way. But it felt like it almost felt like they were talking down to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a little too heavy-handed for my liking.
Me too.
100%. 100%.
And you see what
Yeah,
and to
it's
piggyback
cheese.
off of you too, like in the 1st one, we didn't need all of that explanation. You know what I mean?
No.
You got that little stuff in the beginning, and then boom, he comes back, and we already know what's going on and this and that. You know, and I get it. That was the first Crow movie, so a lot of people, you may have some new people in this one, so you may need to give a little explanation. But I just that other world they went to, you did not need that at all. At all.
It's so weird. She says, nah, that movie made 4.6 million opening weekend. It's not going to make 13. And his budget was 50 million.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It'll probably be on digital quicker than Borderlands.
Facts. And the fight with the villain at the end was so underwhelming. It was just like, oh, they had this little fight, boom, they go into that world, and then goes in water and dies. And I was like, that's it.
Goes in the water. I was like,
30 seconds.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it? Really?
I was like, seriously?
All this time for this? Almost 2 hours, and that's what you did. And the first hour was terrible. So you gave me 50 minutes of them. You know what? I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. At least and again, we're comparing it to the first Crow, but at least we got a fight with the villain and the Crow. You know what I mean? They actually had a fight. This was just like a nothing burger. I was just like, this is what I waited for this whole movie for, was this final climax that was unclimactic at all. Like,
it was like it was done. You knew exactly what was going to happen, and it happened that fast. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, if Drew hasn't seen the original Crow, you should definitely take a chance. Right now, you can find it. Look for the steel book of the Crow. It's out right now. Walmart will give it to you. It's a very good movie. No, I'm not. I just say I'm not Tank. I didn't dress up as the Crow for Halloween 2 years in a row. I wish I had the pictures with me right now. I was looking to see if I could find them, but I couldn't do it fast enough. Wait, like he literally dressed as the Crow 2 years in a row. So once Brandon passed, the franchise followed. I think it's the time period. I really think the time period passed. So you really had to do something special. You could have went somewhere different with this. Now I'm glad that they didn't go with other like these cloud rappers, but they could have done something different. They could have went the story in a different way and had good writing. And I wish they would have done that.
Me too, 100%. You could have done so much more. You could have cut out so much. You condensed it because it was like an hour and 50 minutes or something like that. Yeah. Almost 2 hours. I was like, you could cut out at least 30 minutes of this movie. You know what I mean? Like, I was pretty much about to doze off when I was watching this movie, and I'm trying to stay awake. And then I'm like, okay, here we go. We're getting to some action finally. And it was like,
you're surviving action scene.
All the best parts you see in the trailer are the best parts in the movie. That's
true.
I hate when they do that. And that's exactly what they did, because a lot of those scenes in the trailer were what caught me to go watch this movie. And then you wait until the final battle, and you're getting all the good stuff there. And I was like, wow.
That's why I don't like those trailers that do that all the time.
Me too.
Yeah, Mama Bear says we got a 5-minute clip and those few lines from Ernie Hudson, and that was enough to understand their love. That was the original. That's all we needed.
100%.
So I would have believed Brian as 1010. Yeah, whatever, baby. I could be scary though. I could be a scarier. I could be a villain in a movie. Oh yeah, trust me.
And I say this all the time. The villain in the original Crow he was great. I loved him as the villain in that movie.
He was one of the best characters in the entire movie.
Oh yeah, Michael Wincott. Yes. That dude was awesome.
Absolutely. You would at least hope to get something along that level. And this guy was just nothing. He was nothing at all. Not even close.
we're gonna end it with this. The Crow was a cult classic. The first movie, definitely worth watching. After that, this one. ...
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So, what do you think The Crow got on Rotten Tomatoes?
Very low.
15.
15.
I'm right there with you. Maybe about 25, 30.
The Crow got exactly between you guys 20. A 20% from reviews. Now, people that went to the movie goers, 500 verified accounts gave it a 65.
Mm-hmm.
What audience score is 65?
Audience score is a 65. 20% is the critics.
Funny because when I was buying my tickets, I was like, boy, this theater is looking kind of empty. Maybe I should rethink this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, what? I'm going to see this movie. I want to see it. Went there was like 10 people in the theater on a Friday night. 10 people. Then I knew it wasn't going to do good.
and half of them weren't watching the movie.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to do good.
Said, I'm best. Michael Wincott is a Toronto boy. One of my friends from high school was the daughter of one of his friends. That's pretty cool. They have connection there.
Oh, that's cool.
That's scary. Can you imagine going up to that house and then all of a sudden seeing, like, oh, your dad's Michael Wincott?
That gravelly voice, too.
Oh, man, that's crazy. All right. Well, this is our review of The Crow. Obviously, we don't think it was that good. It's not worth watching. So I'm going to pull up what we usually do for our thing, and let's talk about it. Like, let's give it a full rating. So I'm going to hit the transition, and we'll just record this real quick, and I'll put this out first, and then I'll do the other one afterwards. All right.
Cool.
Welcome back to the Spoiler Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly. We just finished reviewing the Crow, but now we're going to give you our ratings. Is that now, which means we're going to drop what you're doing right now, get out to the theaters and watch it right now. Is it later? You can wait till come on streaming or whatever, or is it never? Where do you rate the Crow? Brandman, you go first.
This one's kind of tough. I'm almost compelled to say never. And the only reason I'm thinking about giving it later is because I really liked the soundtrack. This is tough. You know what? No, I have to give it a never. It's so flat. It's just like a nothing of a movie, like, which is a shame because they've been trying to make this movie since I think like 2008. They've been talking about revamping The Crow, and only for it to be even worse than underwhelming. And it's a shame because I did like the talent involved, and I really, wanted to give it a fair shake. I wasn't out to spit venom all over it like a lot of people were, but it just fell. It face planted hard. No inspiration behind it. It was completely devoid of ambition. Total blank sheets of characters through and through. It moves too slowly. A lot of the stuff is ham-fisted. It's just not very good. It's kind of watchable in a background noise kind of way, but even then, it doesn't really. It's not even good enough to be considered background noise.
Wow, tell me how you really.
I was a little kinder. I was a little kinder to it when I first walked out of the theater because it was still kind of sinking in. And I was like, oh, it was fine. It wasn't anything I was really blown away by. But it's just just a nothing of a movie.
The more you think about it, it's
the worse it gets.
Yeah.
All right, Anzo, where do you rate this one then?
I'm right there with Brown Man. I don't want to say never. I want it because there's gonna be people that will actually like this movie. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say never. I was going with later, but I'm like, no, I gotta give it a never because all the reasons you said. to me, it was just like you think you're going to enjoy it, and then you get to the movie and you start watching it, and you just get 45 minutes of snooze fest, right? It's
Mhm.
just like, okay, when are we going to get to some action? When are we even going to like get something where we feel for these characters? And you just don't throughout the whole movie. So I'm gonna have to give it a never. I really do have to give it a never.
I hear you. I'm definitely giving it never. I don't care. I have no sadness, no regard for this movie at all. It's definitely a never because it could have been better. When you can have a movie that could have been on a level of danger of later and gets you so disappointed in what they did not do, I gotta go never. I don't ever want to see it again. I would never waste another dollar. I wouldn't waste your money to watch it. That's
Yeah,
to
I'll
me,
never
that
watch
means
it
it's a
again
never,
either.
right?
Yeah, I'll never watch it again either. I'm good. That one time was enough. I won't.
But we just don't need anything else, And it's funny because it's not just us. We got Sheed in here saying never, Mama Bear, salt and burn it,
Mhm.
pretending it never happened. You
Mhm.
know, this is what we're getting, guys. It's not just us, but these are our opinions. If you're in the comments, let us know what you guys thought. If you saw The Crow and you loved it, tell me about it. I'm all for
Yeah.
reading about it. We could talk about it. You could tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, it was shot perfectly in the first hour. Let me know
Mhm.
if you think that. It is what it is. We all have our own opinions. Let us know what you guys think. I'm all for it. But for us, for the Spoiler Kings, all of us and Anzo, we all have a never. That's
Yeah.
what we got,
I
guys.
I guess the only other good thing I could say about it is I liked it more than any of the sequels, but that's probably not saying a whole lot because I hate each and every one of the Crow sequels with a fiery passion.
Facts. Facts.
Oh. Well, guys, thank you for watching our video. Shout out to Anzo and Biggie for Entertainment for being here with us. Appreciate you, man, because I always love your opinions, even if I don't agree with them. Once again, that's the point. We always have to put it out there, tell us what we all thinking about something, and maybe we get some good content afterwards. So thank you guys for watching this video, watching our rating, and we're going to go on to our next topic on the live show. And if you guys watch this later, appreciate it. See you later.
Peace.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Cool.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Like I said, man, I really wanted to like it. I was like, oh, can't wait to see this movie. Like, and I'm like, and I'm gonna tell you, like, my girl's passed out, right? She
Mhm.
like passed out, gone, knocked out the minute the action started. And we're walking, she was like, yeah, nothing really happened. And she's not a movie person, right? She'll just go with
Mhm.
me day and night, whatever. So she's not really a movie person. But Alien, she watched it, she liked it. This one, she was like,
Mhm.
nothing. She was like, nothing happens in this movie. You know what I mean? So when someone that doesn't really watch movies and tells you that nothing happens in a movie, yeah, then it's trash.
Yeah,
No,
I was really pulling for it to prove me wrong or to
And the
prove everyone,
haters,
not me,
yeah,
but everyone
the
wrong.
haters,
You know.
yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Me too. I wanted the haters to be like, oh, you know what? It was
this was
actually good
good.
because they
Yeah.
trashed it
Mhm.
so much before even seeing it. You know what I mean? And I get it. We've all done it a couple of times, right? But I was just hoping for this one that it would have been like, oh, that was fire. Unfortunately,
Same.
it wasn't.
Same.
It was a disappointment. This is what happened with me. So I went and saw him with my wife, and of course she's not a movie person. She fell asleep. That happens
Hmm.
sometimes. I have no problem with it.
Hmm.
She woke up and she said, "So, hey, what happened?" And I couldn't tell her. Like I couldn't verbalize what actually happened. We were in the same place for 45 minutes. I had no idea. She woke up after 45 minutes. Hey, I'm sorry. I woke up. What's going on? And I was like,
Hmm.
nothing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for real, for real. I caught
But that's
myself. I,
no.
I was watching it like this, bro. You know what I mean? And, like the
Mhm.
eyes are getting heavy and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I
Mhm.
hear something, and I open up, and I'm like, nothing. Like, really?
Mhm.
But once again, I don't
Yeah.
want people to misunderstand. I think it could have been good. It
Yes,
Me
could have
too.
been. It could have done well, and they just missed the mark.
yes,
Yep.
yes. And I say this
Oh.
a lot. Sometimes you can do things without having to show everything. And that's why I like the first one so much, because they didn't show the love story, but you knew how much he loved his wife. You got those little flashbacks and everything like that. You know what I mean? So you really got to feel it. And then you like his characters. You like Ernie Hudson's character. You like the little girl. You like the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like, there was no witty, like, remember when they tied him up in the car and it's like, we killed you. We killed you. You can't, this can't be right. You know, you got nothing like that. You got that one scene with the black guy. He dies right away. I was like, oh, of course, they killed the black guy first. Of course. Of course.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. So Anzo and Brian, are your wives TV people? No. No, I mean,
if you're talking Bachelorette and stuff like that, yes. Yeah.
My wife watches Friends on repeat. Friends and Big Bang Theory on repeat all night long. All night long. Like, she can just recite it. I'm like, why are you watching if you can recite it? But then I think about my movies and I said, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Mine is like Bachelorette, Love is Blind, all those little.
Oh my God, no. Ugh.
I can't lie. Caught me catching myself watching Love is Blind.
That's what happens.
No, Too Hot to Handle. Too Hot to Handle. That's the one.
Yeah. If I want to be honest with you, I mean, I've watched Friends so many times now. At this point, I know what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're putting it on. Like,
it's fine. You know? It's not a terrible movie. It's not a terrible TV show. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. All right, you gonna stay with us, or you gonna jump off? Because I got some Marvel news I want to talk about.
I'll stick around for a bit.
All right,
cool.
That sounds fun. Cool.
Yeah, stay as long as you want.
Thank you. As long as we don't get into no like Interview with a Vampire, House of Dragon talk or any of that crap, I'm good.
Oh gosh.
No, not this time. Not this time. We got some interesting things. I want to hear what you guys think about it. All right, let's transition real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, and welcome back, guys. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Brandman Brandon. And of course, we got special guest Biggerford Entertainment. Anzo's in the building. If you don't know about him, you need to check out Biggerford Entertainment. Dude, he's always doing great things. I love being on his channel as much as I love being on my own. So definitely gotta check him out as much as you can, guys.
Appreciate it.
Tonight, we're going to talk about some of this Marvel news. And I actually saw 80s Kid from the 90s put up there, are we concerned about Spider-Man 4? That's one of the things I wanted to bring up because there was a Spider-Man 4 announcement. So there was a disagreement. We knew there was something going on with Marvel and Sony. Marvel really wanted to kind of leave Spider-Man the way they left it, right? They wanted street level Spider-Man. They wanted him to deal with, Daredevil and Kingpin and kind of be that thing. Brandman has been talking about this for a long time. That's what he wanted too. Sony wanted another epic kind of, like a multiverse saga. They wanted to keep on bringing Spider-Man into it, a different Spider-Man into it. And it looks like, guys, that Sony kind of won. Okay? Basically, what they've announced was Daniel Rickman. He's one of those insiders said, as expected, Spider-Man 4 will now film next year in 2025, and it will release in July 2026, right between Doomsday and Secret Wars, meaning the multiverse is going to be alive and well in this movie, and this is where we're going to get. How do you guys feel about Spider-Man 4 not almost ignoring what they left it, because they're going to leave him to a point where he was going to have to develop his character. He was going to have to be street level. He's going to be no more as Tony Stark tech and any of that stuff. It was going to be him on his own, figuring out what he is as Spider-Man. Now we don't have that. Now we're going to a multiverse saga thing. What do you think?
So they just rendered everything in Spider-Man No Way Home, especially the conclusion of that. It's now pointless. It means nothing. That whole trilogy, if you look at it as a whole, was one big origin to classic street level Spider-Man. That's what they promised in this one. Like you said, no more Stark tech. No more support system. just him on his own, living in a shitty apartment with no money to his name and a sewing machine and a police scanner. But now they're going to take several steps backwards and basically render that pointless and go back into the multiverse when really the only purpose the multiverse served in the previous trilogy was to kind of build up his origin into traditional classic Spider-Man, so to speak. It's like, what are you doing?
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're using the gimmick that has worked for the past couple of movies. It's all this multiverse cameo stuff.
Take this call. You want to give me?
Yeah. So they're using all the multiverse cameo stuff, right? Because when they did the regular movies, no one really watched them, you know? But now you did Deadpool with Wolverine, you had No Way Home, so you have all these cameos coming in. You're going to have Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. J. That's what's making the money now. So you know what? We're going to continue to use this gimmick until people get tired of it. And I think people are already starting to get tired of the multiverse stuff, to be honest with you.
I mean, did we not just watch Deadpool Wolverine? Didn't we just talk about this, how boring it is? And like they've done a terrible job. I can't wait for them to get finished with this. And then they decide to change the course because they had everything set up perfectly. I thought we were going to get Spider-Man with Daredevil. We'll have, you already kind of had that crossover with him being his lawyer. We already had those type of things. That's what we wanted. We had Kingpin there. Kingpin is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. And especially because Sony kept on using all these stupid villains and ruining movies, putting whole movies out there without Spider-Man and using the villains. Because the rumor was if they use a villain, Marvel cannot use that villain in one of their movies. So why would you do this? It's literally like Sony just being stupid. Why would we allow that to happen? I don't know exactly what's going on. It probably has something to do with the fact that they went with Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. So because the one person who had the highest connection, the biggest connection with him would be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. 100%. And I just think, we had the little tease with the symbiote. So, we're gonna get Black Spider-Man. What? So all of that is off the table now? Is that what we're saying? Like, what's the point then?
Yep.
It's just like to say, like, you're watching something, you get invested into it, and you think you're gonna get something that actually people and the fans have been wanting, right? Now, I personally understood the Tony Stark and I understood people saying, no, that's not Spider-Man, it's not Tony Stark, Iron Man Jr., right? Which is what he was. But then we were going to get the Spider-Man that everybody wanted, and they said, no, we're going to give you more multiverse stuff.
Yep.
So I mean, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, whatever we can think of, we're going to do some more of that.
Just feels like a waste. Because I feel like they did such a good job setting the table. Marvel has done a great job with the Spider-Man movies, setting the table, setting everyone up for exactly what we wanted. To get that origin, really get the real Spider-Man. And you could have brought him back during Secret Wars, You really could have done it. But now you're going to have this movie that's going to connect the two, because you could have been separate and you could have brought some of the street level heroes to Secret Wars. That would have been very cool. Let Spider-Man stand on his own, because it is by far Marvel's most popular character.
Yes.
But Sony needed to make money. And here's the other thing. Sony needs a Spider-Man.
Yes.
It's obvious that they cannot use any Spider-Man that's been out recently. So what are they trying to do? Sony's trying to get Miles Morales into live action. That's why they want the multiverse saga. They want to be able to bring Miles Morales in, and then for them to be able to use Miles Morales as their Spider-Man going forward with the rest of these movies.
Interesting.
With Miles Morales, they can go ahead and start using these villains that they've already had terrible movies with, putting them together, and have him be the Spider-Man that they go with. Now, why is that a smart move for Sony? Well, once again, they need a Spider-Man, and their kids. So I talked to my cousin over this weekend. Do you know? I asked him, so who is Spider-Man? And he said it's Tobey Maguire, but the one I really like is Miles Morales.
Yeah.
The fact that that's the next thing that's on your mind, like he's right there with what's going on. Like I like Peter Parker. Honestly, Tobey Maguire. I like Peter Parker. Yes, I like him, but Miles Morales is the guy I like because that's what all the big comic books now are based on Miles Morales. Those are the funnest ones.
Yes. And I think, you had the Spider-Man Miles Morales games, which did very well, right? And I think it actually did better than the original Spider-Man games. I'm not sure.
It
Don't quote
did.
me on that
But you
one.
had both of them in there. But the ones with
Yes.
Miles Morales did amazing with the sales.
Yes, 100%. And they were good games, right? Then you have the Spider-Verse movies, which are
Oh my
doing
God,
very
yes.
well.
I'm so excited about Beyond the Spider-Verse. We look like we're going to get it soon. We're going to get it
Yes.
soon, guys.
So I think that's what people want. I think people want to see Miles Morales. And I'm like, you know what? I'd be okay with that if they did it. I'd be okay if they put Miles Morales into that universe and kept the Spider-Man in the Marvel MCU.
But I'm selfish. I want Miles Morales with the reboot. In the reboot,
yeah. I could do that too.
for Marvel,
You see,
I want that, and that's my problem.
and I'm right there with you. Like, if you wanted to do the reboot and have Miles Morales in the MCU as the Spider-Man, I'd be good with that too. Or if you want him in the Sony universe, I'd be good with that too. But I would rather him be in the MCU where he's interacting with, I guess they're gonna bring back Tony Stark, Iron Man, everybody when they reboot it. So have him be the one interacting with them. That would be cool.
I agree. We got a couple people in here. So 80s Kid from the 90s says, are we all concerned about the Spider-Man 4? Let's just have a normal Spider-Man movie. That's all I need. Just like Sam Raimi, just have a regular one with an origin and let him be street level for at least a movie. Give us one street level movie with Tom Holland. That's all I ask for.
I agree.
Why? Just why? I don't need any retcons. And I don't think they're going to retcon. I think the way that the story will go is that he's going to do something within the next first 30 minutes that's going to spark one person to realize who he is. And that one person is going to be powerful enough to get everyone else to realize what's going on. And all of a sudden, they're going to all remember by the end of the movie, he's Spider-Man and all the stuff. They'll realize all the stuff that he did. So it'll take the whole movie, but by the end of the movie, everyone will remember that, he is Spider-Man. I think that's how it's going to go. But, it's just a waste. So why would you spend 3 movies getting to one point to undo it in like the first half of the next movie?
Exactly. You could have brought in the real Mary Jane that people wanted. You know what I mean? You could have brought in Gwen Stacy to be the love interest or something like that because nobody else remembered him. And you got Spider-Man. And I think that's an issue with a lot of the Spider-Man movies too, as I found, is like a lot of people knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like they literally took his mask off in the train when he's doing the train stuff, and they're like, "Oh, he's just a kid." Like everybody knows, he's always taking his mask off. Like, so now you go back and you have him being the Spider-Man that nobody knows Peter Parker Spider-Man, and you could have done all of that, but instead you want to go with the multiverse stuff because if we bring in cameos, that's what's going to make our money, guys. Because it's going to be a cameo.
It's going to be hundreds of cameos. But what it is, once again, it's about Sony wanting to make money. Sony saying, I saw what we did when that last one. We want another movie like that. I need Andrew Garfield. I need Tobey Maguire. I need them all to be in these Sony movies because we get paid by that.
Yes.
That's all it is. That's the focus of all this stuff. And I'm worried. I don't like it being between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I really don't like it.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
But that's what we got. This is what's happening. And unfortunately, Sony won, and Sony doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
You know what's funny? I know a lot of people would say, well, I know now because they do the villain stuff. And like you said, I take it as a different take, but I understand you need Spider-Man to have in these movies, right? But if you really looked at it, the Spider-Man movies were good, except for maybe the third one, right? And I think after watching the third one, it's a little underrated. I think a lot of people hate on it a little bit too much when you go back and watch it again, right? Because Sandman character is great in that movie.
Yep.
The problem is that they did the Venom and they didn't need to do that. So,
Yep.
but other than that, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say. So they were doing good. They made money, but they had to reboot. Then they did the Amazing Spider-Man
Amazing
stuff,
Spider-Man.
which didn't do well
Which
as
was
they
good,
wanted.
but they were good movies. It just didn't capture you because Tobey Maguire, it was at that point a better actor.
Mm-hmm.
I now don't believe. I think Andrew Garfield is now a better actor. I thought that they should have figured out a way to continue that and continue Andrew Garfield's. Give us a little bit more of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they need to touch Miles Morales. They should have went that way. If they would have did that, that would have been a better idea overall.
But again, like these studios, they get that second movie doesn't do as well as they thought, and they panic. Oh no, no! People hate it. Oh no, we got to do something different. So all the plans that they had, they scrapped it, which could have been pretty cool. I think the Rhino stuff would have been a little. I didn't like the mech Rhino. You know what I mean? But maybe they could have fixed that going forward in the third one or something like that. But I was like, it seemed like an interesting concept to get the Sinister Six, and then nothing. So,
I honestly, just to kind of wrap it up, for Spider-Man 4, I wanted them to do Kraven's Last Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Kraven to kill Spider-Man, and then the black symbiote find Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden merge, and we get the black Spider-Man with the black suit. That's what I really wanted, and then we get Black Suit Spider-Man in Secret Wars.
Yes,
that would have been epic. I thought that was the right way to do it, but once again, Sony had to make that damn Kraven movie that I'm not sure it's going to be good because he got bit by a radioactive lion. Because you could just get bit by radioactive lions and live and go ahead and have superpowers. That's what happens. But whatever. Sony, I think, is the wrong partner. But they're going to do whatever they got to do to keep Spider-Man. So
absolutely,
that's just what it is.
Absolutely. Like they will make crappy Spider-Man movies just to make sure that they keep the rights. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna do something all because that was a moneymaker. And I know a lot of these other companies lost their rights, like to Hulk and all of that stuff. They went back to Marvel, but they're not going to be doing that with Spider-Man. Yeah, no. No.
So it's never that. We'll throw a movie out in 15 minutes. Just wait.
Facts. Spider-Man just swinging down the street. Hey, Spider-Man movie, guys. We did it. You know what I mean? It's still a movie.
Well, that's what we think about Spider-Man 4. We don't think it's a good idea what they're doing, but obviously Marvel is going to try to make it work. Don't listen to Sony. If ever you want to listen to Sony, this is not the time. But this is what we think. Tell us what you guys think. If you think this could work out, this Tom Holland, you wanted him to be in Epic Adventures. Is that what you rather see him in? Let us know. Do you not want to see him with these ground level heroes? I think Heroes for Hire and all that stuff would have been really cool, but that's not what we're going to get. I love Kingpin and Spider-Man. That's not what we're going to get. But if you like something different, hop in the comment sections. Let us know. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 2,000. We're trying to get there by the end of the year. We only can do it with you. So thank you guys for doing this stuff and watching the videos. If you're watching the live show, we're going to the next topic. If you're watching a little bit later, we'll see you in the next video, guys.
And get these guys to 2,000. Come on, guys. We could do it.
Thanks, guys. All right. That was cool. Mm-hmm. I have some more Marvel news. I'm gonna let you choose. Do you want to go with Vision Quest stuff, or do you want to go West Coast Avengers?
Let's go Vision Quest stuff.
All right. That's the next topic transition, and we'll go over there. And welcome back, guys. Welcome to spoilerkings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Anzo from Bigger for Entertainment. Shout out your channel real quick before we even get started.
Yes, sir. You guys see the name, Bigger for Entertainment. That's the channel. You check it out. We do some great stuff over there. And if you like to have fun on Fridays and sometimes Saturdays, we do tournaments. And I'm telling you, You guys want some jokes? Come check
Oh
that out.
gosh, it is a great time. I love just hanging out with them. So this is always a treat when I get to spend some time with my boy Anzo. So, but I have a topic right now, so I want to talk about this, guys. Right now, so we already know that we got Vision Quest coming up. We thought they were going to scrap it, and apparently not, because we have James Spader returning as Ultron, and not just as in like flashbacks. No, the word is that he's going to be an essential part of Vision Quest. He might be the main villain. So Vision Quest will be filmed in 2025. It's most likely going to be released in 2026, and they got a lot of things going with it. Do you like the idea of James Spader coming back as Ultron and maybe give us a better version of Ultron than we got before?
I hope we get a better version of Ultron. I didn't hate it, but it just didn't feel like Ultron to me, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, finally getting something with Vision, because WandaVision came out in what, 2021, right?
2021, yeah, 2020, 2021. Yeah, that's
And then we had nothing. You heard nothing from Vision since then. You know what I mean? And I know there are a few people that when we did the WandaVision roundtable stuff, they wanted to see White Vision. They wanted to see where the character went. It took way too long to get it, and I think that might hurt it. But at the same time, I think it's good that we're actually finally getting something with Vision.
I think you're 100% right about it might be being too long, and I think Marvel thinks that way too, because what also was released is that most like Deadline and Daniel RPK was also talking about this, saying Elizabeth Olsen could be back in a major title in 2025 for Marvel, as Wanda Maximoff. Obviously, it could be in Vision Quest, or might be in one of the movies that we wanted to see her in. But she's going to be filming in 2025, and that's what the rumor is. Yeah, Brandman coming in.
I am sorry, I had to take that call.
Oh, you're good. So this is what we were talking about Vision Quest, and now Elizabeth Olsen looks like she's probably going to be coming back as someone in Vision Quest. I don't know if it's going to be as flashbacks. Could it be flashbacks? Yeah. Could it be Wanda's in the void? And that's why we were able to allow her to go in Vision Quest. Those are all choices. But with doing all this, does that pique your interest in Vision Quest now?
You know, Vision Quest, I'd have to see more from, just for it to kind of just to be sold on it. I guess the cool thing that I've heard so far is James Spader coming back as Ultron, because I really did enjoy him. I know the reaction to Age of Ultron is more kind of mixed more than anything. I personally liked it, but James Spader coming back as Ultron, because I think there's a lot more you can do with that character. That's really sparked my interest. This Vision Quest show, I kind of fear like it's Marvel falling back into the trap of like just kind of cranking out stuff that they don't really need to crank out. I'm kind of lumping it in there alongside like the likes of Ironheart and Wonder Man, to be honest, where I just don't really need it. I'm hoping it doesn't cheapen Vision's death.
But they're gonna use White Vision.
You know, they're doing White Vision, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. It all boils down to the plot, like what they're going to do with White Vision. What's White Vision going to bring to the table? Mm-hmm. You know. So and as for Elizabeth Olsen coming back, there was no way that was going to be the end of her in Multiverse of Madness. There was no way. Way too much to do with the character.
Which is interesting because she said even as recent as like this April that she does not plan on going back to Marvel. She has nothing going on with Marvel right now. She didn't plan on doing it. She needed a long break. But maybe 2025 is a long enough break of 3 or 4 years that we've gotten from her. You know, that she can come back to this character and breathe new life into it. I doubt she signs a long-term deal, but I'm excited by seeing her. Plus, she's fine. I don't care. She could have much money. Plus, she's fine. So I'm always cool with fineness. Hey, whatever that takes, bring her back. Let's go.
You know, I kind of like where they've gone with the character. You know, where especially kind of where she started versus where she was in WandaVision. Even though even though what she did was messed up. Let's face it.
That was correct. I think it
But
was
but
more
but
realistic. It was more
but I
realistic.
enjoyed. Yeah, I really liked WandaVision. I loved how trippy it was, and I loved the build up. And how they revealed what exactly was going on. It was a good little change of pace when it came to Marvel. I really enjoyed it. It's a little more subtle than what we're used to. A lot less bombastic. A lot smaller of a story. I just liked where they went with it. WandaVision's still one of my favorite of the Marvel series. You know,
It's literally it's like my top 3. It literally
probably
is.
put it right behind Loki, if I'm being honest.
And you see, I'm right there with you. I'm like, okay, you're gonna bring back, her to come in. The money is right. A lot of these people will say, "Yeah, I'm not coming back," but then Marvel
said
put that
another
check out.
0. Let's put another
Yeah.
0 right there.
Oh, okay. Maybe my vacation was long enough. Let's see what we can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, I'm right there with you because, like I said, like, has it been too long? We haven't heard nothing from White Vision since WandaVision. I know we
That
might have been
cocaine
like,
there.
what happened to Vision, but a lot of people, like the normies, have probably even forgot about Vision. You know what I mean? Moved on past that. So, like,
I
you
think
gotta,
I agree with you guys.
yeah.
Honestly, I agree.
So,
But I think Vision by himself, I agree.
yeah.
With Wanda and with Ultron, I think it can make it interesting because it could be a prelude onto my next thing, which is the West Coast Avengers. I got the West Coast Avengers thing with Mickey Mouse right here. The idea of the West Coast Avengers. So the original West Coast Avengers was Hawkeye, War Machine, Wonder Man, Mockingbird, and Tigra. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have 3 of those, 3/5 of that. Then they recruited Iron Man, Thing, Ant-Man, Moon Knight, Wasp, Firebird, Scarlet Witch, and Vision. Now, if they want to create their own version of these things, they can go Vision, Scarlet Witch, they could go Iron Man, Thing, or War Machine, because they could bring back Don Cheadle, War Machine, and Thing, Wonder Man, which is about to come out, and Hawkeye, or Kate Bishop. They can literally bring their own West Coast Avengers out. And and put it out for for Secret Wars. Once again, I just feel like that's an opportunity to get people to understand because they haven't had Avengers out for a long time. And I know we're after the Brave New World comes out, Captain America or Anthony Mackie is going to be the guy who brings back the Avengers. But maybe he has Avengers all different parts of the world. We have a World Avengers. We have West Coast Avengers. We have the Young Avengers. Maybe he does those things. He starts utilizing it to do all that stuff. So this might be a prelude. So what we get with Brave New World and then Vision Quest gives us what we're going to get from Battle World and Secret Wars. So and that would mean it make more sense. And once again, one of the main villains for the West Coast Avengers was always Ultron. So like I feel like the puzzle pieces fit too well for that to be just a coincidence.
And have they given a time frame for when Vision Quest? They probably haven't. When it's going to be released?
They're filming it
Presumably
early
before
2025. Early 2025, they're filming it, so they can release early 2026 before you get Doomsday.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And to be honest with you, right? And I think because of they like this phase didn't have an Avenger movie, you're gonna have Thunderbolts, West Coast Avengers, and then probably the regular Avengers. So now you have 3 different groups that you can put like this big ensemble movie. One year you can have a Thunderbolts movie, or like for beginning of the year, middle of the year you have West Coast Avengers, and then you top it off with the actual Avenger movie, right? So you could do stuff like that. I'd be okay with that too. But again, they also said that they wanted to cut down on a lot of these movies. But I think if they see that these movies start making money again, they're gonna start pushing out more. You know what I mean? The only reason why they stopped is because they weren't making as much money as they used to.
They weren't making as much money, and you know, the verdict post Endgame, let's face it, has been a lot more mixed. You know, Marvel was dropping banger after banger after banger. You know, and then post Endgame, there was some that was decent, some that was okay, and then others, you know, as much as I ride with Marvel, I gotta admit, some of the stuff they were coming out with was kind of trash.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta keep it a stat. So if they can restore that quality, yeah, they'll probably start, you know, where they were originally and just putting out like product after product. I just think they're really going to have their work cut out for them. I'm becoming progressively less worried about Brave New World the more that I hear about it. Especially considering that, you know, it seems like the reshoots basically made them shoot a completely different movie. Thunderbolts, I'm hoping is good. I think it has potential to be awesome. They're really going to have to surprise me though with the likes of Ironheart and Wonder Man. Yeah. I'm just not just didn't see the, no disrespect to Dominique Thorne, who I really like as an actress, and I thought she did great as Riri Williams. Love Yahya Abdul Mateen. But just Wonder Man just doesn't really it just doesn't really speak to me. He never did as a character. Wonder Man. So we'll see. I really want to be surprised by those. And you know, even though I'm not too hot on Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Doom, the Russos haven't let me down with anything that they've done as far as the MCU goes. So at least there's that.
Agreed.
Spider-Man, though, you know, the biggest enemy of this, if they're really going back to the multiverse, the biggest enemy of the movie is going to be Sony.
Okay.
You know,
Sony's always been that, but
yep.
My worry about all this is that it's when you're trying to grow one movie on the next, they all have to be good. So you shouldn't intentionally say this has to go together. When you do that, one bad movie could ruin the entire batch. So it's real hard for me to believe that they're going to hit banger after banger after banger all in a row, hit these home runs, and then this is going to be a good thing. And as I've heard a lot of creators talk about, they don't put Avengers titles on the people, onto movies unless they know it's going to make $1 billion. They're just not going to ruin the franchise. So though I'm hearing all this stuff, I think they do plan on West Coast Avengers. I think they do plan on Young Avengers and all that stuff. But if all of a sudden this stuff does not hit, they will scrap it. So like we're talking about it, but that's as far as it's gonna go. Talk.
Oh yeah. They'll definitely scrap it if it's not landing. You know, look what happened with Eternals.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love West Coast Avengers. You know, hell, I love Young Avengers. They're kind of gearing up towards that anyway, with the way the Marvels ended. I'd be good with that. I like those characters personally. But yeah, West Coast Avengers would be really, really cool.
I agree. We got T in the building. What's up? Hey, gents. What's up, T?
What's up?
Hey, we got Wings of the Night, the Eternal Night. Wow, that's awesome. Hey, what's up? That's awesome.
You know what I was gonna say? I think a lot of the problem, like they assume, oh well, we're putting out too much movies, people are getting fatigued. It's not that. You're writing, and these movies, some of them were crap, right? And it's just natural that, like, for example, You have 5 Transformer movies. If 1 and 2 1 is good, 2 is okay, and the third one's crap, you got to understand that the rest after that, unless you have a banger, they're all going to go downhill. And
Yep.
that's what's been happening to Marvel. Like, they've been going downhill, and they're like, oh, well, we're putting out too much. That's what it is. No, you put crap stories out there. That's the problem. Eternals
Yeah.
could have been probably good if you had a better story, but you didn't.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it didn't work.
I thought the Internals, no matter what, the character, they would have been fine. The movie's just boring.
Yeah.
It's too much boring. And
Mhm.
if they would have just went with either one way, go all action or go with great storytelling, one way or another, it would have been good. But it's just the writing was crap. And that's kind of what we got with. And here you go. This is what she said. Writing was crap. Not the quantity. It was the writing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. We just you know, wasn't it Iger who demanded Feige kind of like crank out all those shows and stuff like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think
doing it right now, right? Iger's the one who just took back over, right?
Yeah, it was just
So
you know I think like yeah, they just kind of threw quality. Quality suddenly became second. I think it was a matter of like some of the filmmakers getting a little too big headed. Case in point, Taika Waititi, Thor Ragnarok was awesome. The man got way too high off his own supply for Love and Thunder, though.
I think just JPEG that was putting out crap stuff, and that was the problem, and not developing it, you know. And I think that was more of the issue.
And again, right? Like, I get it. You can have these directors, writers, whatever. You can have them do their little own stories or whatever. I just think that when you do that, some of them they go way too far. Like you said, Taika Waititi, them
never go full
screaming
Taika.
Goats were
Never
so
go full Taika.
those screaming goats. It was funny for the first couple of times, and then after a while, it was just like, oh my god, will you stop already?
Yeah, first time I watched. Yeah, first time I watched Love and Thunder, I thought it was hilarious. After that, like once it sunk in, I'm like, really? And you know, it's too bad because it almost felt like Waititi was too scared to go as serious as he could. Because as goofy as Ragnarok was, it did have a good balance with the more serious elements. And yeah, and they went all the way with it. It felt like whenever they had the opportunity to do something serious or go into the severity of Jane dying of cancer, or the character of Gore, which there was a lot of potential with, or Thor's trauma, you know, Waititi undercut it with screaming goats, or Thor doing something dumb, you know.
Yeah. Flashback. And Nomads, they didn't need some curry. They needed to be curried. You know?
That's what you get, curry right there. That's it.
Facts. Facts. But yeah, and I
curry goat doesn't sound bad, by the way.
Oh, you never had curry goat?
Oh no, I've had it. There's a place down the street.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
Chicago, you get everything here, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a really good place down the street.
Nice.
Cool, but not every MCU is going to be great. And I think that's what it is. Sometimes you're going to get things that just don't hit for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's funny because I think we all understand that. Like, you can't have everything great. We get it. But they have been bad, right? Not even just like mid to like, okay, this is all right. They have been downright bad. And that's the problem. You know, I think people can accept mid, but the bad, it's like, no.
Yeah, even some of the lesser quality stuff during the Infinity Saga, I still personally thought was at least watchable or entertaining in certain senses of the word. But yeah, you know, the past couple of years, you know, we've had stuff that's landed, and then we've had stuff that's, for lack of a better term, just kind of been trash.
Absolutely.
And then some of it is kind of mid tier, but not a whole lot. It's usually been one or the other.
It depends on the
Absolutely.
hate you're gonna get.
Mhm.
So Wing says, I worried about Marvel 2, but bringing back the Russos, and after Deadpool Wolverine, they cleaned house after of the Deadpool and activist staff. So I think they cleaned house and they're going back to what they originally wanted. So that's kind of what we're gonna get. I think that I agree with the newer stuff that they're coming, but the old titles that they're still trying to come out with because they already spent money on it. Because that's obviously why they're releasing it. They already spent money on it. They're going to release it and see where it goes. That I don't know is going to be good. I say that, but then you know they do well with reshoots. They do trim it really well and put things out. And I don't know. I still have hope that they could do it, but Daredevil Born Again was terrible, and Feige looked at it and said, "F that, we're redoing it."
Yeah, kind of like Brave New World, shot a completely different show based on what I hear, and even the leaked trailer really gave me hope because it seems like a continuation of the Netflix series, just set in a slightly bigger universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it also gives kind of Winter Soldier kind of vibes too, as well.
Brave
You know
New
what I
World
mean?
definitely
totally,
does.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Have we
totally.
gotten spoiled, guys? Have we gotten spoiled?
I don't think so. I don't think. You see,
No,
I don't think it's spoiled. Go ahead, Brandon.
I don't think we've gotten spoiled. I do think Infinity War and Endgame kind of set the bar pretty high. So I think I think a lot of us automatically assumed that everything that came after was going to be just as good. So, but I never really expected that. Even though, yeah, I think that was peak Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't expect everything else to be of the same quality.
It took 10 years to get there, so like 30 movies to get there. So
yeah.
We're talking about a decade plus of worth of build up.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you
they had to stick the landing.
100%. And if you go through every phase, there's movies in every phase that aren't really good. You know what I mean? Like, I can name a few. I know you guys like Thor Ragnarok. I couldn't stand it, right? But I know one that people don't like is Thor the Dark World. You know what I mean? So you had movies that were bad in each phase. But I think when you get to the point where it's like bad, 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 good, bad, 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 good, that becomes an issue.
Yeah.
I actually go back through some of the stuff that we said was bad. Thor Dark World wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Just
thank you.
As the more I watched, the more it's like, this is actually okay.
I liked Thor. I liked Thor Dark World. I liked that. I thought there was a lot to like about it. I actually really like Alan Taylor as a director. I think he's pretty underrated, especially. I think he was the first one who kind of made Asgard feel like a character.
Mm-hmm.
It had vibrance and personality. I like that we saw more of Asgard. I think that's really where Chris Hemsworth was starting to find his footing as the character too. Him and Tom Hiddleston, hell, always brings it.
Yes,
there were elements of it that I did like. I remember enjoying myself, especially the first time that I saw it.
Is it a great movie? No,
but
I
think a lot of things that are wrong with it, but it's okay.
I think some of the conversations, like with Loki and his mom, with Thor and Loki, where they're like, because this is the first one where they actually start to bond. You know what I mean? And I liked that stuff in the movie. I thought it was well done. Even at the end where it looks like Loki's gonna betray Thor, and I was like, oh, he's gonna do it again, and then he ends up being on Thor's side. And I was like, yes, you know what I mean? I was cheering for that. So
that made it even more sense for Loki because now you don't know what he is. You just enjoy him.
Yeah,
it really cemented him as an anti-hero.
Yes,
it cemented him as a little brother. That's what. If you have a little brother, you know how that is. It's just like,
yes.
I'm gonna be both your best friend and your worst enemy.
Your worst enemy, yeah.
At the same time. We got thinking everything will be Winter Soldier or everything will be Endgame and all that stuff. It's hard. We can't get all those things in. So Disney is taking the first steps it needs to clean out the activists in Marvel from Lucasfilms. From Marvel and Lucasfilms. Well, I think that they're finally just going to go with the creative part. I don't think you have to clear out the activist part of it or any other stuff. I think that you need to make sure it's good. I have no problems doing anything you're going to do, but make sure it's good quality and you respect where it comes from. That's the big thing.
Most movies have activism and certain things in it, but they're hidden in the story where if you're not really paying attention, you could gloss over it, right? It's when you start to make that the focus instead of the story, that's when you come into the problems. I don't mind if you're going to put your activism stuff in there and in his movies, right? But the fact is, you got to make sure that the story is on point and it makes sense for the story instead of the story making sense for the Activision stuff.
Mm-hmm. If you can't tell a good story, you're going to have a problem.
Yes.
No matter what it is. T says bad is subjective. I don't think anything they put out was terrible. Love and Thunder was pretty bad, bro.
and I disagree with that because you can actually rate the levels of badness, right? Bad writing, bad cinematography, bad storytelling. So you can do that, right? Now, if you want to say comedy is subjective, then yes, I'll agree with you on that. But to say something is bad, you can actually point out to reasons as to why something is bad. So I don't think it's bad. I don't think that's subjective.
But it depends on who the rater is and depends on who's actually doing it. So everyone got different tastes. So that's what makes it kind of opinion and stuff. The only thing to me that was horrible was Secret Invasion. I think if they would have hit on the last episode, Secret Invasion could have been good. They just had to hit on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was teetering. It was teetering, and if they would have hit on that finale, everyone would be like, "Man, that wasn't that bad. I wasn't so sure, but that wasn't that bad." But they really crapped the bed on that one.
I enjoyed Secret Wars right up until the last episode. That's when I was like, "Oh, this is how they ended it." You know what I mean? And then they did the Rhodey thing, and that just totally kind of destroys the end game stuff because that's not Rhodey, it's a scroll, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, no, you made a mistake with that.
Yeah, that's something they're going to retcon. So now I don't think we did. Everyone wanted end game after end game, and you're not going to be able to get end game again.
Mm-hmm.
We got Wings of Eternal Night says, as a woman and a longtime fan of sci-fi and fantasy, I'm hoping to start my own YouTube. I wanted to be taken seriously, not just as a woman. I grew up with my brothers loving Marvel DC comics, and Star Wars. And that's the thing. I think I hit this a lot of times for me. And someone even commented on one of the videos like, "Oh, so you're okay with race swapping and gender bending on stuff?" And I'm like, I just argue it more in certain things, but I feel like Mama Bear said, she doesn't like when they do that because you have good female characters, so you don't need a gender swap, you don't have to race swap, you don't have to do all this stuff. You need to respect what people are saying, people care about, and use the characters that are there because those characters matter to people. And I think that's kind of always the issue, and that respect, and if you put good quality out, you can do whatever you want as long as it's a good quality story, as long as you're really going to put the effort out there. If you're going to kind of just throw crap out there and to say, hey, but I put it on a black person, it doesn't matter. No one cares. If you're going to I'm going to make this person a woman, but the story is terrible, we're going to say, oh, it was because it was a woman there. No, it had nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the story being terrible. Put quality out there.
Mm-hmm. Like if you're gonna do the race bending, like I personally, like I said many times, I don't have an issue with it, right? I understand the connection to these comic book characters, which I've had, but at the end of the day, I'm okay with seeing different interpretations of them, whether you want to make them woman, make them black, or whatever. But if you do that, you have to make it good. You can't just do that and make it mediocre because then you're going to get it's a DEI hire and it's this and that. So you have to make it good because a lot of the people, they made Gordon black in the Batman and then they watched the Batman and it was crickets. There was no more talk about it because they liked the movie, right? And he did a good job. So that's the way to silence it. Another thing I want to say is Wings of Eternals. There's a lot of females in this space. So if you want to start your YouTube channel, just go right ahead and do it, man. 100%.
Yeah. Hell yeah, more power to you.
Yes.
I think that's great. Go for it. But yeah, I'm not really bothered by race bending either, unless it's unless the character's race is like instrumental to the character. Exactly. I'm not really bothered by it. Like a common argument that you hear all the time is, oh, well, they're race bending. What if they cast Ryan Gosling to play Black Panther? And I'm like, dude, Black Panther needs to be black because he is a black character in Africa, in an uncolonized region of Africa.
It's literally the blackest thing you could ever have.
Yeah, so I had actually seen someone bring that up when they were talking about Kumail Nanjiani potentially playing Booster Gold. Someone brought that up, and I'm thinking to myself, again, Black T'Challa needs to be black. That was one of his defining characteristics. The defining characteristic of Booster Gold is he's a loser.
100%. And I'll tell you this. I'll say this because I think about it all the time. Is there black characters that now I wouldn't want them to race bend, and I know why they won't do it is because we don't have enough black characters. But if you wanted to race bend Steel, that would be someone who could be race bend. Like his blackness doesn't really have a lot to do with who his character is, or maybe Blade, right? Those two, right? But when you think of T'Challa,
no, Blade.
No, I know you're gonna. No, I know, but you could do it because his blackness is not what makes
the idea of Blade being black and being able to be a daywalker had everything to do with melanin. It had everything to do with melanin.
Okay, so again,
the idea, so that's why they did that. That's why they did that,
right? Because it's black, right? But I'm saying if you did made Blade white, it wouldn't really, you know what I mean?
I don't think make anything because Blade wasn't Blade was a character that was black, now black character. So I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Right. Like
I just don't
want to say.
This is my point. I just don't like you doing it when like there's only so many. I don't necessarily want to take that away, and then utilize the ones that are there. So if you only have 7 black characters, utilize them. Let's just utilize them and let's make good stories about them, and don't change. And that's the one thing I agree with Chill about. Don't give me a white character, make him black, and try to placate me. When I have a black character that I've been asking for 15 years for you to give me a Black Lightning storyline, and you can't give me, do that. So that's kind of where I am with that. But
see, here's the problem, and I always say this: we had a Black Lightning TV show.
I watched every single episode. I watched every episode.
So did I.
I got the 100%. DVDs over there,
and I enjoyed it all the time. I think to
give me Thunder.
Wales, great villain. You know what I mean? Great family aspect with the father.
The family aspect was great.
The mother was
so well done. It's just not enough. I'll say not enough people watched it.
I would throw Lynn away in a second.
But not enough people watched it. Yeah, 100%.
Lynn is awful. I hated her. The mother, she was the worst.
But the family aspect was good, though. She wasn't a good character. Yeah, I agree. But the family aspect was good. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, guys, you guys have some really good comments in this comment section real quick. Tony said Secret Invasion was so damn boring I couldn't get past the first episode. Y'all tripping. Those first 3 episodes was dope. I died after that for and a lot of folks. I agree. Yeah. And then
yeah. I liked most of Secret Invasion. Just I think the last episode or 2 is where they kind of lost me.
Where they dropped the ball.
They could have done it. Could have done a great job. They had a chance. Wings. My point to you is that put out things that you want to see. Be thick-skinned and believe what you're going to talk about, and go with it. As long as you understand what you're saying, and you're going to say it, and you back it up, do it. And you know what? Honestly, I'll watch you.
Yeah, I will too.
I'll even invite you on my channel if you want to come on. You know what I mean? I'm usually like, anytime a new tuber comes on, they want to come on and have a conversation with us. I have no problem with that. So yeah, I'd give you an invitation easy. No problem.
Oh, most definitely. And matter of fact, that's how we met. We're going on different people's channels. That's how
Yes.
we find. That's how you find out where your community really is. So yeah, definitely do that. If you want, you check inside the description. You can send us an email or something like that. Hit us up either on YouTube or whatever, and we'll get together and we'll do a round table. We'll figure something out.
Absolutely.
Okay. T says, I watched every episode. How about that? Black Lightning. I got a book. I have like 4 books of Black Lightning.
Listen, I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad people watched it. I think a lot of us did. I just don't think enough people watched it, and that was the problem, right? I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, the costumes are corny. I'm not watching that because I don't like." I'm like, you're not watching it because you don't like their costumes?
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. Thunder was fine, and I liked her.
Bruh.
Whatever.
Don't get me
started.
Don't get me started on Thunder. I can tell you right now, there was this one scene where her and the girlfriend were in the house and she had on these black little lingerie tights, and I was like, oh my Lord.
Oh boy. I thought Jefferson Pierce, the way they portrayed him was perfect.
Me too.
I loved how they portrayed him.
Me too.
You know, the positive idea, and honestly, a lot of shows have been taking the stories that came out in Black Lightning that they've been, think about Supercell. Supercell would not have had anything without Black Lightning, because that's exactly what they did. They experimented on the black people in this city. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, I think they had great storylines. I think they had great writing. It fell off after season 1, and you know what? They moved it away from the Flash, so they should have kept it right next to the Flash, and we probably would have had a little bit more seasons from it.
Hey, there was one scene where Painkiller was a Painkiller.
Yep.
Where he went in and he was like, I think he was going to save someone, and he was in that room where he's fighting, and they played the Wu-Tang song, and I was like, oh yeah, bro, this is lit. I even liked Painkiller, and they were supposed to do a spin-off with him.
They were going to do a spin-off of Painkiller. Yeah.
I was like,
they moved Black Lightning away from the Flash, and that killed its following.
Yes.
If they kept it right next to it, it would have been amazing.
Facts.
Painkiller was dope. He was, dude. He was awesome. T says Tobias Whale is one of my top 5 villains of all time.
Facts.
Dude was
Facts.
Dude was,
Negroes always playing, but don't want to die. I was like, oh my God, Tobias is killing it, bro.
Oh, yeah. Said Black Lightning being on CW hurt it and racist. I don't think, I'm telling you, if they would have kept it next to the Flash while the Flash was doing really, really well, it would continue to have its following. And then by season 3, when it took a little bit of a dip, people would have followed through with it because they already had given 2 seasons of it. Moving it away was what hurt it.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
It was a great show. Unfortunately, the Arrowverse hit a wall. Yeah. The story was great. The fighting was great. I wish we had Robert Townsend over Ryan Coogler. Dude, Robert Townsend is one of the greatest, not just black storytellers, but overall storytellers in the black community, period.
Yeah.
Ryan Townsend never got what he was what he deserved.
Facts. And then we know a few people that hate on Meteor Man.
I know.
Bro,
I'm like, why
how
can
you hate on Meteor Man, bro? What are you talking about?
Dude,
Meteor Man.
The Golden Lords.
Facts.
It's my favorite line in the movie. The Golden Lords. Don Cheadle was one of them. He was one of the Golden Lords.
Yeah,
he was. Andy Griffith, when they grabbed that modeling book, and he was like,
and they started doing the Vogue stuff.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Oh,
yeah, that movie is so good, man.
That was, in a perfect world, we would have gotten at least like 1 sequel. I'd have been happy with 2 also.
Facts.
Dope. Painkiller had the best
Yeah.
fight scenes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that is
But yeah, Robert Townsend doesn't get nearly enough credit. Not to circle back around to that, but
No, I agree with you.
Robert Townsend's so cool. They said 5 Heartbeats is my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Said had us believe the 5 Heartbeats were a real group.
was a real group. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Arguing.
know, right?
Oh man, that was for real. Eddie Ruffin was the best. That was, like, it's just
Facts.
oh man, that's so awesome.
He also had just one more quick, which I thought was really good. Hollywood Shuffle, right?
Hollywood Shuffle.
Hollywood Shuffle was a good one,
and it's still
very underrated
today. If you watch that movie, it's still relevant today, man. I love it.
So
yeah,
you know, Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans carried so much for Black people in early '90s. Like literally in Living Color, you wouldn't have gotten Living Color without Robert Townsend. Like they literally carried all of it.
Yes.
Together with those two together, oh man, Keenan Ivory Wayans is another genius. Damon Wayans is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Can you
not enough credit?
Yep. Exactly. Well, give me Blank Man. I got
Blank
Man.
100%. Oh, 100%. And I know another person that can't stand Blank Man either. And I'm like, bro, what are we talking about? Blank Man is a classic.
Oh, Danny is such a hater.
You know? I didn't say your name, Danny. I didn't want to say the name, but he busted you out. I didn't say your name. I just said we know somebody.
I love him, so I can do it. Okay.
Danny's my boy.
Hollywood Shuffle is a classic. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he did. Yep. Winky Dinky Dogs.
Yes.
the Pimp Zombies, man.
Oh yeah, the what hood movies
Attack
or
of the Living
like
Pimp.
Attack of the Street Pimps. Attack of the Street Pimps.
That's what it was.
So fun fact. I used to I watched snippets of Hollywood Shuffle when I was really little, and I used to scare very easily as a child. The Attack of the Street Pimp scene kind of freaked me out as a kid. Just how they were all walking in unison, low key freaked me out as like a 6 or 7 year old.
And just one thing that I also liked too, if you watch those old movies, you'll see Robert Townsend in I'm Gonna Get in Wayne's movies.
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Yeah, you see Wayne's in Robert Townsend movies, so they all stuck together. You know what I mean? They were like a family, and it was great.
Low Down Dirty Shame is one of my favorite all-time movies. Facts. That's before I hated Jada Pinkett. Before she was Jada Pinkett Smith.
When she was fine, Jada, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I actually knew the other person in the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
My family knew her, like, growing up. I was like, oh, look at her. I mean, to me, she was just this old lady, but I mean, fine.
Who in Sally Richardson from Low Down Dirty Shame?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yeah. What's her name was not Sally Richardson.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I know Richardson's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Sally Richardson. Yeah.
She voiced Elisa in Gargoyles too.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's her. She definitely did that. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's how I was watching them Gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's so much fun. I love talking about this stuff.
Me too.
So
same.
Down Dirty Shame is so underrated. It is so he was basically like he was Shaft almost.
Yeah. Shaft meets Sean McClane, kind of.
She was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
We can't forget I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. You know what I mean?
Hey, my bunion, man.
I want one rib.
You got change my honey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so much fun. So much fun. All right, let's go ahead and end this part. Hey guys, that's all the Marvel news that we had and all the movies that we were going to talk about, kind of going around the horn, talking about those things. If you guys want to add anything to the conversation, please go in the comments. We'll definitely respond to all of it. If you guys are watching live right now, we're gonna go to the next topic. If you guys watching later, thank you for joining us for this fun stuff. Thank Anzo and Big for Entertainment for doing this. Please go find him, go subscribe. Anzo deserves it, and join us on all his things on Fridays and Saturdays because all those brackets are awesome. I get so angry.
Well, we did the best disaster movie, and Howard the Duck won. So go figure.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness. Guys, we gotta go to the next topic. We'll see you later.
Peace.
See you guys.
Oh, Howard the freaking Duck. Oh my goodness.
It's not even a disaster movie.
I
Put
know.
it in there. And it won.
Going
I was like, Danny, if you see, right, because I had to bounce out, so I was coming back and forth. But if you hear Danny's voice towards the end when he realized Howard the Duck was probably going to make it further than he thought, he was like, yeah, I hate you guys.
And T said Howard the Duck was a disaster.
Yeah, that's why it won.
Actually stumbled upon that on Prime Video when I came home today. Thought about watching it, but didn't. Ended up watching Labyrinth instead.
Oh man. All right. I got a quick trailer I wanted to watch, guys. The Lord of the Rings came out or him. So I want to watch that trailer if you guys don't mind real quick. To do this.
Do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the first season of it though?
Yes. I did.
Okay.
I finished it. So
yeah.
But I saw the first 15 seconds of the trailer. You're gonna be fine. You'll be fine without it.
Would you recommend the first season?
It was long, and it was some of the stuff was just too drawn out.
I got you.
But if you like Lord of the Rings, the area is beautiful, characters are cool, but not all the writing's great.
I got you.
All right, here we go. And welcome back to the spoilerkings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Brandman Brandon, and we got special guest, Big for Entertainment. Anzo's in the building. Yes. And we're bringing him in, guys. And that means he has to watch one of our movies. So, I got a trailer up right now. I want to pull it up for you guys. And let's see if we can check out The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. That's the official trailer. Let's watch it and let's decide what you guys think. So, here we go. All right.
Oh, that's coming out in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Rings of Power.
TV show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know even when I think about this right now.
Same. This wasn't something that was really I was really paying too much mind to be completely honest. Nor was it on my radar, but this is actually my first time watching the trailer. But it looks cool. I really like the animation. Always like more world building when it comes to Lord of the Rings. That's why I'm kind of fond of Rings of Power and stuff like this. I'll always watch. I think Lord of the Rings is top tier fantasy. So, yeah, interesting. I'm definitely sold on the trailer. Like I said, not a whole lot to go on, which I think is good because trailers just show way too much nowadays. I think this one was just enough. Like I said, I'm really drawn to the animation style. I might even try to give this a watch on IMAX just because the animation style really hooked me just from the trailer. So, yeah. We'll see. I'm not too familiar with Kenji Kojiyama's work, but might have to look him up if he's the director.
I actually agree with you. The animation does look very well. I like the animation. I don't know if I would watch it in the theater though. I would more like I'd watch it on a streaming service or something like that. That's what it seems a little bit like it should be on to me. But you know, it's something I like. I'm like with you. I love Lord of the Rings stuff. I didn't watch the first season of Ring of Power, so I don't know. I might check it out.
I look at this and I think it looks good. The story looks really good. And it's 200 years before any of the stories that we've already gotten. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be a little bit different. I don't think I'm going to go to a theater to see this during a time where there's going to be all these unbelievable movies like Moana's coming out, Thanksgiving, Christmas time. We're going to have The Lion King, coming out during this time. I don't know if I can find the time to watch it in theater. But I'm very interested right now. So maybe?
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, this is horrible. No, it actually looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. You might check this out in the theater.
Yeah. Maybe. Because, if you get the winter time, I mean, you need to get away from some stuff. Maybe you go see it, but I'm not sure still. But I don't want another trailer. I just wanted to not forget about this. I wanted to keep on reminding me. Don't tell me anything about the story. I want to go in if I do get a chance to watch it with not knowing what the hell's going on.
Yeah, this trailer's enough.
Yeah. I think that's what they make that mistake. They try and entice you by giving you a little more, and then they end up giving you too much. The Crow. You know what I mean? They give you too much, so I don't want them to give too much. So I enjoy it. We got a little taste of the ring, so that ring is involved there somewhere, right? Maybe a little tease at the end, but again, Lord of the Rings has always been about the ring, the one above all ring, and everything like that. So yeah, looks
maybe.
Yeah, looks like a good watch.
We got the chat in here saying Cleve says doesn't look bad. So this is going to be a hard, heavy pass for me. That's what T says.
Fair enough.
See, Mama Bear says not sure about the elephants being in there. Otherwise, it looks pretty cool. The elephants aren't native to that region, Middle Earth, so I'm hoping there's a good explanation for their presence. And I think it's because the other people are not from Middle Earth, and I think that's what we're going to hear and see what this story really is. But I don't know. It looks decent. I have to really get reminded because it's still 4 months out. So as long as I remember, maybe we'll check it out. This is what we're saying, guys, but I want to know what you guys all think. Go on and jump in the comments. Tell us, like the video, come and subscribe. But tell us what you guys think about this. Is this going to be a good movie? Is this going to be worth it? Maybe it's people that won't know more about the Lord of the Rings lore know that this is going to be special. So let us know, because if it is, I'll love to promote it and tell people to come watch it. But right now, I just don't know enough. So, and Mama Bear says, I'll remind you if I remember.
I'll probably, to be honest, I'll probably forget about it, and then one day I'll be like looking through movies to watch and be like, oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings movie came out. Oh, I've seen everything else. Let's go check it out.
Go see it.
Yeah.
December's going to be jam-packed as it is movie-wise.
That's what it's going to be. That's going to be our time, though. During the winter time, sometimes you want to get away from your family. You want to go see something, with great fantasy, Middle Earth. Kind of take your mind away. You don't have to think about all the other stuff that's actually going on. So that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, this is our review of the trailer for War Roham. I am interested, but we'll have to all talk about it. It does feel like a streaming movie, but maybe I'll warm up to it the closer we get to the movies. This is what we gotta think about, guys. If you guys watching the live show, we're gonna go to the next trailer. If you guys watching this later, once again, comment, let us know about this. If you know more about it, I'm willing to learn. Let us know. And right now, we're going to go on to the next thing. So appreciate everybody. Appreciate Anzo being in here. Biggie for Entertainment. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
See you.
Sorry for cutting you off, B.
No, you're good. You're good.
I had a quick trick figure that time. That was bad. All right. I got one I do want us to see, is Secret Level. I thought that because they talked about this. And then I want to see Superman. And after that, we can just leave.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Give me a second to pull it up. I was telling everybody about Tank emailed me or he was messaging me on my phone on Saturday saying, "Hey, you guys got a show?" I was like, "Today's Saturday." He was like, I thought it was Thursday. He lost state. He had no idea what the hell was going on.
Wow. That happens when you have a newborn. You know what I mean?
I told him, this is real, man. That's what it happens when you have newborns. You have no idea what the hell's going on anymore. You're losing.
Facts.
It was like, when will my life get normal again? I was like, never.
Yeah, for real. For real. When they're 18, you know what I mean?
She says, I'll watch it, but not in theaters. Yeah. Middle Earth has a similar world to Hogwarts, so naturally I dived in. Gotcha.
Yeah.
He says, when they go to college, that's when it gets all normal again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wish I could read my message exactly, but I was like, I'll let you know when it happens. I've had to, for the last 8 years. I'll let you know when it gets normalized. You just find out how to schedule time for yourself. Why do you think this is so late? Why do we do these things so late? That's the only time I got for me. All right. Let me see if I can get the secret level up, and then we go from there. There we go. That's the one. Share this one. Check it out. That's what. All right, let's go to the next thing. It's the secret level. It's a teaser trailer. It's only a minute 41, so we'll just run through this real quick.
Secret level.
All right, here we go. And welcome back to Spoiler Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Brandman Brandon, and we have special guest Biggie for Entertainment, Anzo, the man, the myth, the legend, the godfather of this ish. If I could give some of some of the stuff that we say about him.
Relax.
Oh man. But we're going to watch Secret Levels, a teaser trailer for Prime Video. Let me pull this up for you guys, and we can hit this up real quick. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Yeah.
It's time. This world has waited for your arrival. It is you. You will open the door. Because you are the chosen. All those moments. It's a new adventure. Just for you.
Come in. You have a game to play.
Dude.
No idea what's going on, but I'm here for it.
Having all those games. So this is it's going to be a series.
Mm-hmm.
Prime Video. But all those games in there, I've never seen anything like this. Like this looks like Ready Player One, but actually
I was going to say Ready Player One.
Yes.
I was going to say Ready Player One. That's the first thing that came to mind.
I am so for this. I was like, oh,
Yep.
We're getting God of War, Mega Man. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with the Pac-Man one. I'm like, okay, how are you gonna?
Oh
make
man,
a story
same.
about Pac-Man? You know what I mean? So, and then they showed a little robot looking. I was like, oh yeah, 100%. I am down for this. I am
Absolutely,
dude. This is like awesome. Like I have no idea. Like this is how you do it. I think someone just said it. Now this is how you tease. You don't need to know nothing about nothing, but know that this is going to be special. You know, when you're watching something, you first thing you say is "Whoa!" Come on, you know. We saw Mega Man in there, you know, and he said so. Each episode will be a different story for a different game.
Yes.
Come on, I'm in. You got me.
Absolutely.
Me too. People been dying to see like some sort of live action God of War, right? You're getting an animated God of War here. I just hope every episode is an hour, right? Because I know you can't have a full hour. A full hour episode, yes.
But
not
you
30
doing
minutes.
On Prime means you're probably gonna get a full hour.
Yes, yeah, I agree. So I'm good with that. As long as you get a full hour episode where you can get a lot of details and storytelling in an hour, because I don't think 30 minutes is enough. You know what I mean? For certain shows it is, but for this, it looks like you're going to need an hour an episode. So I'm like, yes, bring it on.
Yeah. I hope we get hour-long episodes.
I just want to hear these stories. How are they going to do this story, man? That's going to be half the battle. How are you going to be able to put all these stories out? Some of these stories are amazing.
I have a feeling, because if you see at the beginning, they show a guy and he's like, "Oh, you ready?" I think they're gonna be a different story, but in some way, it's gonna connect together at the end. You know what I mean? To where all these stories kind of connect, and you see what's going on. Maybe they're trying to save a world or something like that. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Like, what's your favorite storyline from a video game?
From video game overall, probably I would say either Uncharted, like just any of the Uncharted games. I love Uncharted, or I'm gonna kick it a little old school and go Kid Chameleon.
Oh, I loved Kid Chameleon, bro. That game was fire.
That game is. I have it on my emulator, dude. I still play it all the time.
Oh man, that game was fire. Where you get all the little helmets and
the helmets and stuff like that, right?
Yes,
yeah, super simplistic, old school plot, but I absolutely love Kid Chameleon because it's kind of meta if you think about it. But yeah, off the top of my head, I'd say Uncharted, or for that matter, I always like the plot of the. I always like the plot of the of Gears of War also.
That was mine. Gears of War. That's what I was going. Gears of War is my favorite. I love Gears of War.
It's just
all night playing it.
Yeah, the plot just wouldn't work anywhere near as better if it was anywhere other than a video game in a video game setting. I think that's where it belongs. I'm not even sure I want to see a Gears of War show, a movie, or anything like that. But Gears, yeah, I love Gears of War.
Me too.
I love Gears of War.
I got into Gears of War late. I think I got into it like 4, but then I went back. I went back and I played every one after that because the game is so fire. But another one that I really like too is Metal Gear. I think Metal Gear Solid 4. I think that was one of the best stories that I've played in a long time, man. I love that game.
He has a really good one. He said, I played the first game with an ex, and we beat it, and we broke up, and I never played it again.
Well, then, yeah, I can see why.
Oh, man. I think this concept is really dope, what T was saying. So basically, he says I don't think this will be doing origin stories. I think every episode will be like another level, the next level. So the next level we playing that video game. So that
makes sense. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like he goes into one, boom, 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 boom. Then they pass it, and he goes into another level. Yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, that sounds exactly that word anthology. Yeah, Tony,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
And I really like
amazing.
and I really like anthology shows and movies anyway. So the fact that they're doing an anthology show based on video games is my big sell. Sorry, mosquito.
Oh, dude, this is going to be epic.
Mhm.
No, I'm all for it. I cannot wait for this. I'm glad we sat here and watched it because I am hyped. Now this I can get behind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
but that's us. We all like playing video games. We have all the systems and all the stuff, so that's why we feel this way. But what do you guys think? We want to know what you're thinking about. Jump in the comments. Tell us: are you excited to see Secret Level, or is this something you're going to want to watch every week, a different level, or is it going to be something that just doesn't pique your interest? And you like video games, but you're not really into doing each one of these games every level for it. Let us know. Tell us what you're thinking about it. If you're watching this video later, like it, please. Subscribe to us because we come out Mondays and Thursdays from 9 to midnight usually, just to have fun and talk about these things and have fun being a nerd. So that's what we're about. If you're watching the live show, we're going to move to the next topic. If you're watching this later, check us out when you guys get a chance. Hit the comments, and we will see you guys a little later. I didn't even know I wanted this.
Yeah, I know,
Right?
right? So you watch the trailer and you're like, "Oh, this looks kind of fire." Because I seen it a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Oh, ooh!" And I seen all the names, and I was like, "I want to see Pac-Man." I said, "I want to see Pac-Man." What are you gonna do with Pac-Man? Because I can get you making stories out of all the other games. I'm just like, Pac-Man, really? Because I know they had a cartoon or whatever, but that's silly. So I want to see how they do with this. It's gonna be so fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna watch one last thing, guys, and then we're gonna hit the hay because I am tired. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. Full, just let everyone know. So
Oh
this
no,
will
I
be
get
the
it.
last one.
Mhm.
It's a little bit longer one. We talked about it before. The Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. This is an official trailer. I want to check that out, and then we'll be getting out here tonight. So, all right, I'm gonna hit the transition, and we're gonna knock this out, and then everyone get to bed early, including Anzo because he's on East Coast.
Sounds like a plan. Get to bed early myself.
Here we go, guys. All right, guys, what's up? We're the Spoiler Kings coming in for another trailer reaction. We're here, me and BB, with Anzo today. So because we talk about this and we argue about superheroes all the time, I wanted to check out the trailer, Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. The official trailer came out a couple of days ago, so I wanted to just check it out with you guys and let's see, what we get from it. Kind of excited. Hope it's a good story. It's Christopher Reeves is one of my favorite Superman.
He's the Superman.
Yeah, he's the original.
He's it. That's the one you want. So
Yep.
Here we go, guys. We're gonna hit play and let's check this out.
Yeah, I can't see that in theaters,
Oh.
man. I can't see
Yeah,
that.
that might be a tough. That might be a tough watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna tear me up, bro. I can't do it. I can't do
Dude,
it.
I was tearing up watching this
I
trailer.
seen you. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Mhm.
man. Oh, that's wow. I'm not gonna watch. I don't know if I can watch it in theaters either because I don't want people looking at me like, man, is he crying for real?
Big old 6-foot black man in the theater crying.
I'm like, oh man, that is a heroic trailer, a heroic movie. But man, that is just, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, he's Superman. He is Superman, and the things that he's done. And I guess because I'm at an age where I know what he did. I know how. I remember the day hearing Superman is paralyzed.
Yeah, me too.
I
Mhm.
remember it like vividly, and
Me too.
that now seeing this and realizing all the stuff he was going through, not being able to feel all the things he was thinking.
Mhm.
I don't know if I could have done it, and that makes him even more heroic.
Facts. You are at 100%. I couldn't have done it. I know that because I would have felt like a burden to the people in my family and stuff like that. Like he said, you know what I mean? And I know his wife was like, "No, you're still you," but I don't know if I could have done it. So yeah, that makes him a lot stronger.
Yeah, the fact that he kept going, after something like that, just like you said, it really makes him a real life Superman. Like he embodied the character on screen and off, especially in the wake of something like that happening, where you easily could have just fallen into despair and given up. It just makes me respect him all the more.
And not just what he did for himself, what he did for others. Other people believe they can come back from their injuries because they saw Superman doing what he was doing, living his life still. That's just, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough to talk about. And I think I'm agreeing with it. What I'm seeing in chat. I'm going to be a wreck. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch this and just be, oh man. But I don't want to not watch it because I want to give it its flowers. I want to celebrate it. I want to give it its money. I wanted to have that. So man, that's amazing.
But what I read, it was only for like a weekend or something like that in theaters. I don't think it's going to be in there long, from what
Yeah.
I've seen.
That's good. I want to see this at home, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'll watch it at home. I think I'll be able to take it in more because I like to, especially when I watch documentaries like this, I like to really take it in. Sometimes I'll rewind and go back and watch a part over again and be like, okay, yeah, ooh, that's, you know what I mean. So I'd rather watch it at home.
Satis said, I always said my granddad looked like a black Christopher Reeves. He's my Superman. Christopher Reeve is the greatest superhero ever. He just got it.
Yep.
I don't think I can watch this in theaters, but I will watch it. Yeah. So, yeah. I was about to ask, why is this in theaters? But I don't I don't want to be a wreck in theaters like that though. Yeah.
I feel you, man. I'm with you. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I'll wait until it's on streaming. Watch it in my own privacy.
Wasn't that crazy to seeing how his life changed immediately? He was doing everything always. He was literally the embodiment of Superman, doing all the things. And then in an instant, it changed.
Yep.
It didn't even look that bad. It didn't look that bad. And that's why no one believed that this is what happened. It's not going to much being a wreck in theaters is walking out still being a wreck.
Yeah.
That part, Mama. That's that part. That's exactly
because it's gonna tug at your emotions, right? You know that 100%, and it's probably gonna end with something that's just gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they ended it like that." You know what I mean?
Soul crushing.
There's not gonna be a dry eye in the theater. It's just not gonna happen unless you're heartless.
Even then, you might grow a heart.
Facts. Facts.
Oh man, guys, I just I remember it so vividly. It's such a part of my life to see those things and see what he did. It's gonna be really cool to see, to remember, and yeah, I'm probably gonna end up crying. I'm like, that's the biggest blackest dude to ever be crying in the movie theater. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. T says falls are crazy. I heard people getting paralyzed falling out of a hammock. You hit the wrong way. Your knee, your neck is hard to protect, and man, that's all it takes.
100%.
But guys, that is the trailer for Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Anzo kind of said it's going to be in theaters for about a week, and then we'll see where it goes from there. DC knows what they're doing. I'm definitely going to have to watch it. I just don't know if I'm seeing it in theaters, but man, let us know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to be as epic as it feels? Is it something that people are going to have to go to the theaters to see? Is this going to be one of those things that your tickets are sold out, and if you don't see it soon, you're not going to see it until it comes to your TV? You know, I want to know what you guys are thinking. Please hit us up in the comments, and just like this video, share it, tell your friends. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. That's why we're trying to bring in Bigger for Entertainment, because that's the man, the myth, the legend, Anzo, doing all the big things. So of course we got to bring in our big friends. So appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you're on the live stream, we're going to finish this stuff up. If you're watching a little bit later, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
All right. As I was telling you guys, it's getting late real quick. So we're going to get out of here. I'm going to figure these last couple of comments. So particularly as a parent, can't play catch with my son, y'all will be wrecked. That would it's going to hit me right here in the heart immediately. Can never feel my wife's touch. She can feel me, but I can't feel her.
Facts.
And it was only in theaters for a weekend.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
I don't think it'll play here where I live. I'm sure I could find it because we're in Chicago, so somewhere around here we'll find it. But if it's either watching in theaters or wait 2 weeks to see it on my own TV, I'm probably going to wait 2 weeks to see it on my own TV.
Me too.
Being real with everybody.
Me too.
But guys, thank you for joining us. And guys, we had the whole show with Anzo basically. Anzo, shout out your channel one more time, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Yes, sir. Oh, my light just went out. But Bigger for It Entertainment, guys, check out the channel. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys, bro. Thank you.
Guys,
Appreciate
it's been fun hanging out with Anzo. Been fun hanging out with you guys. We really appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys on Thursday where we'll be talking Bel Air. Man, if y'all see episode 6, damn.
Tomorrow night, Brian, we're doing the Bel Air on my channel.
And I will be there.
9 EST this time, okay?
Yeah, you know what? I should have the time on my hands. I'll be there too, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
Perfect,
Absolutely.
guys.
Because I told Danny, I was like, yo, episode 6 was the best episode in the 3 seasons so far. It was fire. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. Absolutely.
Guys, we'll see you guys. So we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you on Big for Entertainment. We will be there. We'll be watching it. Come join us tomorrow. And man, we'll see you guys then. Peace, love, and as he said, hair grease.
Yes, sir.
Later.
See you guys.